What's good? It's your boy Czar, All Rights Reserved. What's up, Commenter Nation? I just wanted to come through with an update. Well, one of the first updates I want to give you guys for the time being is that since we've addressed these news stations doing media not saying allegedly, that's all they're saying now. Funny thing is, people act like they don't see what we post, don't see what we address, but this is all they're doing now. It's crazy because I called them out. They got quiet, they got silenced. And now I'm reading stories. They have it everywhere. They're like doing it in every chance they get. I'm telling you. And what's even crazier is, remember all hip hop, whatever. I finally seen the owner. He was on the news station talking about Sue Surf's arrest, which is weird. And he was giving information on it, which is odd. But he, all I gotta say is he needs to check his website next, because if he's not doing allegedly like we called out, he's gonna be facing more than backlash in the news for a Sue Surf news story. Trust me, because they have allegedly nowhere on their news site, and we've made a big change, and it's on Newsbreak, so it's even bigger than you guys understand. Shout out to Commenter Nation. Whether you understand, hit that like button, share, subscribe. We're making a difference, and they're acting like they don't see our videos, but they see it. They see it, and it's a story right after I said it. This is wild. And the story they said it in doesn't mean anything to me. So that's why I'm not doing the story. I was trying to do it, tried to find the angle to look at, but I could care less. But right now, we're about to talk about Louisiana. So travel with me to Louisiana. In Louisiana, there was a fraternity house. And being a previous fraternity boy, I felt like it was my duty to address this. Now, there was a shooting of some sort at this fraternity house. Now, number one, part of the reason we got to be careful, we always used to have somebody that was able to use weapons in the house, all right? Matter of fact, most of my brothers, whether you guys, I said this or not, they were mastery, shotgun masters, like pistol masters, rifle masters. Like, they were deemed masters legally and able to teach military how to use weapons. So we never had that type of problem. Trust me. Trust me. It would have been bad if someone came up in there. Too many people ready and armed. But thank goodness, that's how it was for us. But this story below, check it out in Louisiana. Fraternity house, there was 11 people injured. They're not saying how bad, it didn't go into detail, injured in a shooting. Now, my problem with this is, first off, usually the people that visit your school and do this don't go there. That's 9 times out of 10 because they travel there for a party. There were so many instances. I have so many stories. I could do story time after story time where I was dealing with people who were unruly trying to come up in the fraternity house. Dudes who did drive-bys on the one across the street. Thank God we ain't never have to deal with that. But everybody that was there in the house was armed and ready, even if they did. It would have been very bad for whoever came up in there. So, you should always have somebody in your fraternity house that knows how to use a weapon. And if they do grip it up, that person outside is over for them. And I recommend that for every fraternity and sorority house, but they got to be responsible. So we had responsible individuals that were handling. So they were very serious and they had licenses to do so. So pretty much you should have someone in there licensed to know how to do it. And the fraternity house has to be off campus. Ours was off campus. I don't know about you other guys, but my thing is, if your place isn't off campus, you got to get exclusive rights to carry. So you got to check out your laws where you're at. Don't just think you can have it for protection. You got to know what the school allows, because sometimes you can have it thinking you're protecting yourself and it get you kicked off campus. Be very careful. This story's sad. In Louisiana, I pray for the life of these 11 people that were injured in the shooting at that fraternity. I hope they figure out who did it, and I hope they capture any individuals involved in it, because students go there to learn. Parents send their children there to get a higher education, not to go for mess that occurs. And allegedly, for someone who doesn't go to school, shows up, throws a hissy fit, and wants to shoot up a house or something. That's lame. Like, why are you there? Don't go to party if you have no business being there. If you don't know anyone there, why are you there? If you never went there, what are you there for? That's my thing. Because thieves come around. Another story. A guy running around stealing laptops. But I don't even. That's another story for another thing. Trust me, he got justice. He got did dirt. Let's just say this: he was a grown man that came there to be a thief. He left that night with his booty exposed. I can't make this up. With his buns exposed, literally beaten till his buns were exposed. Okay, all right. In this story in Louisiana, I hope everybody's safe. Going forward, let's pray for the victims. And you know, one thing I gotta say when dealing with these type of issues, you gotta keep in mind that there's always a situation behind the scenes. So for instance, the what happened to the people that had these guys blasting through their door at that point, it was black guys that did it, but they made racist remarks to them at an when they tried to come in and party. That's one thing I don't do. I'm not a prejudiced person, but if you're going to say things that are off base, you got to prepare for those consequences, especially when you're saying it with malice like they did to him, and he didn't deserve that. All you got to do is say no, you can't come in. I don't have to say no, you bleep bleep bleep, you know what I mean? Like, come on now. There's a certain way to carry yourself. And I don't know the instance in this story. I can't even allege what happened because they don't say. They just say it was a shooting. We don't know. But I lived the life, fraternity life, and I know the type of things that can happen. So I can tell you more than likely there was a reason the person did it. Maybe they did have racist rhetoric thrown at them and they came back to get vengeance. Who knows? But right now it's still under investigation. But Louisville got Louisiana, that's another story we're going to talk about. Louisiana got a lot to look into. An investigation shall be underway. Check this story out below. This is what's in the news. I got more coming. All rights reserved.